I hope JJ can suit up.
You're joking, obviously. I don't know if he's joking.
That would be.
DeMeco Ryans spoke to the media on Wednesday ahead of both the Jaguars game and Thanksgiving. I'm guessing he was asked at least once about his favorite food and what he's thankful for. Let's listen.
Because JJ said on the Pat McAfee show that he would be in the building and maybe working with some of the young guys after the workout. What do you hope that they gain from that, and why do you have it here?
I hope JJ can suit up. That would be the best thing about having him here. No, for our young guys and seeing JJ here, right? Just a guy who's done it at the highest level. All the success that he's had, for him just to have the heart to be back here, right? Willing to talk to guys, encourage our young players. It's always great. We're always welcoming JJ back here. He always has a home here with Texans. Even if you want to play JJ, we're here for you.
Okay, look, I don't know if he's joking or not. The team's social media has embraced this. Like, he just brazenly said it. I feel like if there was no chance it was going to happen, they wouldn't joke about it because they don't want to think, they wouldn't want anybody to entertain the thought that it might happen. I don't know, man. I was the first person to say, like, listen, it's not happening. I do believe that JJ never had any plans to come back and play. The more he jokes about it with Pat McAfee and with DeMeco, and the closer the Texans get to being a playoff contender, now I'm looking at it like, if the Texans make the playoffs, I almost feel like there's no way he won't come back. And look, Dylan Horton had to leave the team for a little while for undisclosed personal reasons, some kind of personal health issue. I wish him the best, and I hope all of that is okay. But like, it reminds you, man, there's opportunities and spaces where JJ, just like Ndamukong Suh did last year for the Eagles, veteran defensive lineman, that your body's all banged up, but man, a half season in the playoffs ain't bad. I think it makes a lot of sense. Damn it, I can't believe I'm buying it.
But obviously fans would love to see that. Did you see an expanded role for him in whatever capacity?
Greg Bailey said, you're joking, obviously. I don't know if he's joking. Also, I should clarify, JJ's been here for the past week. You know, he had tweeted that he was in Houston over the weekend. I don't remember seeing anything about him being at the Cardinals game, but he's been working out with the players. I put myself in his position, and I know his body feels great. I don't know, man. I don't know.
JJ, whatever he wants to do. He's the man, whatever he wants to do.
He's not joking. He's dead serious. Like, if JJ walks into his office, think about it like this now. Now it's like if you're Superman and you know that there's people that need your help in the world, can you ever retire? No, you can't. That's the obligation of being Superman. That is the heavy, heavy crown that you wear. And I feel like the more JJ realizes and discovers that he can still play football, or TJ had asked him why he was lifting so heavy, and he was, admitting that he's still very, very strong, but he hadn't been running at all. All right, you know what happens after that? The seed is in his head, so there's a few agility drills, and then, I'm working out with the Texans. Why don't you guys just go ahead and time me so I compare how I am now to what I was in my prime? And then all of a sudden, boom, JJ Watt's getting. I don't know why I'm getting like agitated by it. I think it's because I don't want to tease myself with the notion, and then a guy who had double-digit sacks just last year comes in to help this team that's already surging in the playoffs. My God.
You look at Trevor Lawrence, especially this past week, some things that he's doing at a high level right now.
For Trevor, I think the really good things that you've seen change is they've done a really good job of getting him on the edge, right? Getting him on the edge and making it easier for him just to complete, quick throws. And he's done a great job of getting out, utilizing his athletic ability. And I think that's where he's made some teams pay, using his athletic ability, being able to run, all right, playing on the edge is where he's thrived the most.
Okay, so there's a whole narrative now, or a debate going on about Trevor Lawrence as to whether he's a first-read quarterback or not. Nick Bosa made a comment after the 49ers beat the Jaguars about how take him off his first read, and that's when you had him. Like all of these things, it's way more complicated than that. I think that the offensive line in Jacksonville hasn't been a great friend to Trevor Lawrence, and I also think that they're still working in Calvin Ridley. Zay Jones was out. When Zay Jones came back last week, it seemed to help Calvin Ridley out. So I think that there are a lot of times where, he didn't move beyond his first read because either the first read wasn't there or because the pass protection broke down. They've tried to get him moving. They're running more bootlegs. It's way more complex than just, oh, Trevor Lawrence is a first read guy. It's just that's the way it's played out this year. I think he's still a very, very dangerous quarterback, obviously.
With Desmond, we wanted to just add another veteran guy there for our secondary. Right, Desmond, with his flexibility, he's played nickel before, played safety, corner. Just adding a guy with that flexibility and experience is good for us right now.
So Desmond King re-signed. I was surprised that he got cut because I love the way he plays with his physicality. I think he's great in zone. He can come up and tackle. And it was a bit of a surprise. The one thing about Desmond King that's always been a little bit tough to figure out is that he had moments, not just with the Texans, but before, where he had to miss a start here or there for team reasons, and you don't know exactly what the full story is behind that. Other than that, I think people like him. It's just there's a little bit more to the picture, perhaps, than we're publicly privy to. Not in a big scandalous way or anything, but I think also, if you look at last week, the Texans had to play nickel the whole game because they're so banged up at linebacker. So Tavier Thomas ends up playing a linebacker role a good amount. And, perhaps they feel like Des King could play in the slot in those instances. Gives them more versatility, perhaps, if they're still going to wait on linebackers.
What are some of the challenges of playing a team that you played just a couple months ago?
For us, and playing this team, as we said, a second time, it seems like so long ago. I think both teams are different now. I mean, we played them week 3 of the season. I feel like we've gotten better as a team. I feel like they've gotten better as well. So it's its own matchup. Guys who will be out there, so it's just a completely different game for us.
I'd almost forgotten just how banged up and bad the offensive line was early in the season. And I should be trumpeting it more often because I complain about the fact that nobody was giving CJ credit for doing as well as he was with the run game not working at all until the last couple of weeks. That was huge that CJ was able to do that. But what have we seen since Laramie Tunsil returned? John Harris pointed this out. The emergence of Dalton Schultz. I don't think Dalton Schultz has to stay in and run block as much, pass protect and help out the tackles as much as he had to before. Things have kind of solidified in that regard. So the offensive line alone has been one huge step forward. The emergence of the run game. And yeah, the Jaguars are a different team now too. The defense has turned into a turnover machine, a turnover creating machine. That's one of the big things to watch this week. You always want to watch turnovers, but look, CJ through fumbles and interceptions has turned the ball over 6 times in 2 weeks. I don't think it's a trend, but he's got to hopefully show and prove that it's not a trend versus a very opportunistic Jaguars defense.
Scruggs came back. He hasn't played in a while, but it was like to have him back out there and just interesting what his way back.
Really excited to see Juice back out on the field. It's been a long time. We've missed him. Just happy for Juice. Just physically to get him back out, mentally, all the things that he's been through to get him back out on the field. Credit to Juice for him putting the work in and be back out there. He deserves it. And we'll see how this week goes for him. But it's uplifting and it's encouraging just to see him back out there.
It's tempting to think like, hey, Scruggs is back. Now everything's going to really go into hyperdrive. And then you remember, oh, yeah, we haven't really seen Scruggs all that much. So, look, Dieter is filled in about as well as I think you could have hoped. Look, Scruggs being back is not going to hurt things. And ultimately, either with him at center or who knows, maybe with him at guard and Titus Howard moving out to right tackle, although I've started to fall in love with George Fant just based on his feistiness more than anything. It's better. The more to the mix, the better. And I am bullish on Juice Scruggs. I really liked what I saw from him in the limited amount of time we got to see from him. So, great preview coming out tomorrow. I got to talk about JJ and him potentially returning. I want to talk about Shaq Leonard and how he might be a fit under the right circumstances for the Texans. I'll try to have videos for all of that. I'm Seth Payne, played for the Texans for 5 years, played in the NFL for 10 years. I now do Sports Radio 610 in Houston. I also do a pregame show. So from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central, you can tune into Sports Radio 610 to hear our pregame show before the Jaguars this week. Have a great game, a great Thanksgiving, and a great week, everybody. Thank you.